episode 614 of 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Gonna be talking about 3 shows of pro wrestling tonight. First, starting things off, TNA Against All Odds, which featured title matches, appearance from an NXT superstar, the TNA World Championship on the line, and a enigmatic return to TNA. Plus, we'll be talking about WWE Friday Night Smackdown, the go-home show before tomorrow's Clash at the Castle premium live event, and tonight's episode of AEW Rampage. All of that right here, right now. 360 Wrestling Fanatic. Welcome, Wrestling Fanatics, to 360 Wrestling Fanatic. I am Lance Brock. Thank you for tuning in to episode 614 tonight on this now early Saturday morning, I guess you could say. We had a lot of pro wrestling to watch tonight. TNA Against All Odds, WWE Friday Night Smackdown, and AEW Rampage. I made pretty good timing watching all 3 shows tonight. It's a little after 1 a.m., but I'm not going to waste any more time. I am just going to get right into it. TNA Against All Odds, live from Chicago, Illinois at Cicero Stadium. Our commentators tonight, Tom Hannafin and the Drama King, Matthew Raywalt. First, the countdown to Against All Odds. We saw Sami Callihan taking on the Octopus, Jonathan Gresham. And now, by TNA Director of Authority Santino Marella, for Jonathan Gresham's matches, all referees will have to wear face masks and gloves. If for some reason you haven't been watching Impact lately, this new gimmick for Jonathan Gresham is where he has been having this black ink been coming out of the mouths of referees. And Kushida, who I will mention in a little bit, was the first one to get sick from this black ink, whatever it is. Pretty good match here between Callihan and Gresham. And then we see the return of Kushida. And he has a can't think of the name of it, but I know it's a science thing. Tom Hannafin said it on commentary, but he takes a towel, I should say, and gets some of the black ink from Gresham, and he looks like he's going to run some tests on it. And after that distraction from Kushida, Callihan gets the win over Jonathan Gresham. Also on the countdown to Against All Odds, the TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championships were on the line. The System, Alicia Edwards and Masha Slamovich, defending against the Hex, Allison Kay and Marty Bell. Alicia and Masha retain, defeating the Hex. And now on to the main card on TNA Plus. TNA Against All Odds 2024. We start off tag team action. Kind of an odd couple pairing here. Mike Santana and Steve Macklin taking on the Rascals, Trey Miguel and Zachary Wentz. Pretty good tag team match to start off Against All Odds tonight. Santana and Macklin picking up the win, coexisting in this one to get the victory. The TNA Digital Media Championship is on the line. Rich Swann taking on PCO. And Rich Swann, actually this is not a title match, my mistake. AJ Francis is the Digital Media Champion. But Rich Swann and PCO. PCO gets the win, 5 minutes, 36 seconds. And then we see Steph DeLander come out, and she promised an answer if she will go on a date with PCO or not. She has the love letter PCO wrote to her, and she asked the crowd if she should say yes, should she say no, should she swipe right, should she swipe left, or should she say we? And she did end up saying we, yes. So I'm guessing maybe in the upcoming weeks on an episode of Impact, we are probably going to see this date between PCO and Steph DeLander. The TNA World Tag Team Championships are on the line. The System, Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers taking on the Nemeth brothers, Nick Nemeth and the Hollywood Hunk, Brian Nemeth. And we get a return tonight. Dirty Dango, who we haven't seen in a while. And at first, I was a little surprised here, because Dirty Dango, he comes out as a babyface. And I know he has a history with the Nemeths, but the thing is, the last time we saw Dirty Dango on TNA television, he was the heel who came out and would talk about how he hates pro wrestling. But this surprise babyface return did not last for too long. Dirty Dango turned on the Nemeth brothers, helping the System out 12 minutes, 27 seconds. Not sure if this was just a one-night thing or if Dirty Dango is a new member of the System, but still TNA World Tag Team Champions Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers. Next up on Against All Odds, Frankie Kazarian and Joe Hendry. Pretty good match here. Kazarian gets a foreign object to get the win against Hendry. 7 minutes, 26 seconds. And then after the match, Kazarian locks in the crossface chicken wing. And then, as announced on Impact last night, Ace Steel is his new manager for Joe Hendry. He comes out, makes the save. Kazarian, when Steel turns his back, pushes him, and then Steel knocks him out with a punch. The TNA X Division Championship is on the line. Mustafa Ali taking on Trent Seven. And almost right away, Ali goes to use the title, but then Seven hits a low blow during this match, but Ali kicks out, and Ali retains via submission, 15 minutes 33 seconds. This was a fantastic match. Let me just say that. Definitely candidate for match of the night, in my opinion. If you did not see Against All Odds tonight for any reason, I definitely recommend, well, you should watch the whole show, but I definitely recommend checking out this match. Ali and Seven worked a great match here, but still TNA X Division Champion Mustafa Ali. Tag team action up next. ABC, Ace Austin and Chris Bay taking on the Walking Weapon, Josh Alexander and Eric Young. ABC gets the win over Alexander and Young. Bay pinned Eric Young, 18 minutes, 17 seconds. Very good tag team match here. This match was actually a little better than I even thought it was going to be. Not that I thought it was going to be a bad match or anything, but it kind of surprised me. And now, what pretty much the pro wrestling world has been talking about, the TNA Knockouts World Champion, the Juggernaut Jordynne Grace, issued an open challenge for her TNA Knockouts Championship. There were definitely a lot of rumors, a lot of speculation about who was going to accept. And yes, it was a WWE NXT superstar, Tatum Paxley, which makes sense. Last weekend at NXT Battleground, she got involved in the match. Jordynne Grace versus Roxanne Perez, and someone else got involved in that match as well. Who comes out now? Ash by Elegance, and watches the match on the stage. And this one, definitely, I would say another match of the night candidate. I really enjoyed this match, but as Jordynne Grace successfully retaining the Knockouts World Championship with the Juggernaut Driver over Tatum Paxley, 11 minutes, 15 seconds. And then after the match, Ash by Elegance hits the ring to attack Grace, but then Grace turns that around, gets the bottle of champagne from her concierge, pours it on her, takes a sip, and then Ash by Elegance, as she's trying to get up on the floor, slips all over the champagne. And the main event of Against All Odds, TNA World Championship on the line. The TNA World Champion, Moose, defending against Broken Matt Hardy. And it is broken rules, so that pretty much just means anything goes. But the decision, either the pinfall or the submission, has to be decided in the ring. Really good match here. And in the beginning, the system, they try to get involved, but then Ryan Nemeth and Nick Nemeth come out, take care of them, chase them to the back, but Alicia Edwards still at ringside in Moose's corner, and then eventually she does get involved, and then we see Queen Rebecca come out and even the odds. At one point, there's a table set up in the corner. Matt Hardy about to hit Moose with a spear through the table, but Moose grabs Queen Rebecca, and Matt Hardy ends up spearing her through the table, which causes a distraction, and Moose defeats Matt Hardy to retain the TNA World Championship. 21 minutes, 31 seconds. The system come back down to the ring, attack Matt Hardy. The Nemeth brothers come out, try to make the save. Joe Hendry, but eventually the system gets the numbers advantage once again, and then we get the return. We hear some very familiar music. We get the return of Brother Nero, the charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy, to TNA, comes out, makes the save, as Against All Odds goes off the air. I'm not sure what, as of right now, Jeff's contract status with AEW is, but the way it looked tonight on Against All Odds is that he could be sticking around TNA at least for a little bit anyway. And that was TNA Against All Odds. Great show, I thought. Thumbs up, in my opinion. Had some really good wrestling on the show. Like I said, there was a couple match of the night candidates. One of them being Mustafa Ali and... Sorry about that. Mustafa Ali and Trent Seven. Awesome match between those two. Jordan Grace and Tatum Paxley, I thought, also had a great match. And the main event, Moose and Matt Hardy, entertaining as well, with the return of Jeff Hardy. I definitely recommend, if for some reason you did not see Against All Odds, definitely check out a replay. And now we go on over to Fox WWE Friday Night Smackdown, the Go Home Smackdown, before tomorrow's Clash at the Castle Premium Live event. And Smackdown was taped on a tape delay from Glasgow, Scotland at the Hydro. Our commentators tonight, Corey Graves and Wade Barrett. And we start things off with Naomi in action. She has the WWE Women's Champion Bayley in her corner. She's taking on Chelsea Green, who has Piper Niven in her corner. Naomi gets the win, 6 minutes, 7 seconds. And then we get a Grayson Waller effect with their guests, DIY, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa. Santos Escobar defeated Apollo Crews, 6 minutes, 26 seconds. The Queen of the Ring, Queen Nia Jax, defeats Michin Mia Yim, 1 minute, 23 seconds. And Tiffany Stratton was on commentary. And in the main event of Friday Night Smackdown this week, Solo Sikoa defeats Kevin Owens, 11 minutes, 53 seconds. And then Randy Orton comes out for the save, hits RKO's Elbow Solo and Tama Tonga. And some dark matches that took place tonight. Ashanti Adonis and Cedric Alexander defeated Pretty Deadly. And Sami Zayn defeated Ludwig Kaiser to retain the Intercontinental Championship. And Drew McIntyre defeated Sheamus. I forgot to mention during the recap of SmackDown, there was a segment between Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles, which AJ Styles cut an awesome promo. I thought, talk about Cody Rhodes quitting WWE, quitting New Japan Pro Wrestling, quitting Ring of Honor. He did not mention TNA though. He did have a brief stint there, but he did not mention him quitting TNA. And then he says he started a company and quit there too. Of course, he did not mention AEW by name. And then Rhodes pretty much says he left to go on to bigger and better things. He did not quit. Very good segment between Styles and Rhodes here. Tomorrow at Clash at the Castle, Cody Rhodes defending the Undisputed Universal Championship against AJ Styles in an I Quit match. I'm sure that's going to be a great one. And now, Wrestling Fanatics, it is time to go on over to TNT for AEW Rampage from the Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, Iowa, which was taped Wednesday night after Dynamite. And our commentators, Tony Schiavone, Excalibur, and Daddy Magic, Matt Menard. We have the AEW Women's World Champion, Timeless Toni Storm, with Luther and Mariah May defeating Alex Windsor. The Cage of Agony, the Gates of Agony, and the Machine, Brian Cage, in trios action, defeating Jay Martison, Kevin Gutierrez, and Solomon Tupa. Hope I said that right. Didn't mess up too badly. And then we have a very good match next. Shota Umino defeating Rocky Romero. Saddam Singh, along with Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt in his corner, defeat Rosario Guerrero. And as Mark Henry would normally say at this time, it's time for the main event. Pac taking on Jay Lethal. Saddam Singh and Sanjay Dutt stayed at ringside. They interfered, and then Bryce Remsburg ejected Saddam Singh from ringside, but not Sanjay Dutt. Pac gets the win, defeating Lethal. Good main event tonight on Rampage. So I would say overall, a really good Friday night of pro wrestling action. And it is not over yet for this weekend. We have tomorrow WWE Clash at the Castle. Once again from Glasgow, Scotland at the Hydro. 2 p.m. Eastern start time on Peacock here in the United States and WWE Network elsewhere. I will be back for Good Morning Wrestling Fans tomorrow morning to preview the Clash at the Castle Premium Live event. And we also have an episode of AEW Saturday Collision tomorrow night. Hope to have a new episode of 360 Wrestling Fanatic tomorrow talking about both shows. Remember, you can go in the comment section right now. Leave your thoughts on TNA Against All Odds, WWE Friday Night Smackdown, and AEW Rampage, which of the shows you watched, or if you were like me and watched all 3 of them tonight. But that is all for tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Once again, tomorrow morning, Good Morning Wrestling Fans, previewing WWE Clash at the Castle. Hope everyone has a great rest of your night. Hope you enjoyed all the pro wrestling tonight and then tomorrow. But until then, I am Lance and I am a wrestling fanatic.